like a panther. Yes? Maybe not.
Hello everyone, Stottle here with Stottle's Throttles. This is take 2 of this particular video. So I did notice upon reviewing my first video, which these should be uploaded around the same time, so this is definitely meant to be a second video, like a follow-up to the first one, because the first one was opening the boxes themselves. So in this one we're going to build these up, we're going to do a time-lapse, hopefully. But I did want to say I noticed that the audio quality on that last video was absolutely terrible. I didn't realize that it was set to the mic from my webcam, which, and I might review this specific webcam sometime. Really bad mic, not good quality. So I understand that I'm probably hard to hear at different parts. It sounds a little bit garbled. It's not the type of video quality you would expect from a video in 2022. I am actually working on getting myself a mic. I probably should have gotten that in several of these Legos actually, but I did want to get these. This was all specifically for these videos that I'm making. Obviously for my own pleasure as well, but so I'm going to build these. That last video, I will say that I didn't want to redo the video because I already opened up the boxes. It's not worth taping back up the cardboard boxes, pretending to be surprised. And my reaction in that video was meant to, you know, come from me opening those, the products. So the fact that I'm at this point with the products, I'm not going to redo it. I'm not a huge fan of the video editing process itself, so doing a voiceover is just not my highest priority right now. Videos are going to get better as we go. I'm going to get better equipment as we go. I don't plan to get another webcam, but the mic, like I said, just a key thing to have. So we're gonna build these. I already, as you could tell, popped a hole on this one. It probably won't talk while I build them, just because it's not necessary. I will cover like the different baggings though. So like I said, we're gonna time lapse this. So we got this neat little instruction booklet here. And you will notice with the new Lego sets, they just have this generic white background bricks, and then the little image of the ship itself. I've heard different YouTubers talk about how these are kind of lousy, not the most creative designs. They're not as funky as they used to be back in the day. You know, when I was growing up, say, it was a couple years ago. But, you know, I think that they do the job. Honestly, it could be worse. So, you know, and I presume the QR code is just to scan it and get it online. You should be able to get copies of all these instruction notebooks online. So, we're just going to build this one here. So, we got this first bag. Has some clear parts of Boba in it. You got the helmet, the jetpack, the head, some other different pieces, and there is a color theme to this. This one has his body, his legs, other bigger parts of the ship. These are like medium, and then these are the small pieces. So we're just gonna pop these open here, build us a Boba Fett. I think my favorite version of Boba Fett, because people talk a lot about how upset they were with Book of Boba Fett, and I have my feelings about how the series went. I was actually quite thrilled with it, but I can say I've actually not, most of the Disney Plus series I haven't rewatched since, mainly because I just haven't felt the need to. I like them. And, like, if I was really in a mood to go through all of them at once, I probably would if I had a lot of time on my hands, which I don't. But I have to say, upon my first watch of Book of Boba Fett, I wasn't upset with it. Not as much as other people were. I will say, though, my favorite iteration of Boba Fett, I mean, people love the version of Boba Fett from Empire Strikes Back, just a dark, brooding, quiet kind of guy. And then, of course, they put in Tamora Morrison's voice, which is a pleasant addition, actually, to any version of Boba Fett or Jango Fett or the clones. And then, you know, there's the younger Boba Fett. There's episode 2 Boba Fett. There's this Boba Fett from Book of Boba Fett. Hey, what's going on? I'm Boba Fett. So, spaceship jetpack. My favorite version to this day remains, it's actually a real toss-up. The robot chicken iteration of Boba Fett was just a total comedian.
Don't skimp on my umbrellas. You know what they say? Let a smile be your umbrella. Well, my face is a big letter T. I forget the point. I forgot the point. You got any more umbrellas? Ellas. Oops, I got it.
Yeah, you okay to fly, man?
Hey, trust me, Isaac, I drunk better when I drive. Whoa, leave.
Hilarious, crazy, funny stuff. So that's really among my top. And then the, you know, him featuring in The Force Unleashed.
He has a healthy head start.
Find the woman and bring her to me. He will follow.
I'll need a squadron of stormtroopers. They won't be coming back.
The Empire will provide whatever you require.
Classic. You can't go wrong with that. So what I can say is that, honestly, in the bright light, looking at his helmet, it's kind of hard to tell where the lines are. The dark red kind of blends in with the black of his visor, so it looks like it looks really kind of sloppy, at least from this angle. Even when I look at it in the dark, the helmet just looks not as pronounced as it should be. Like, look at that. That's just... That's a critique here. I've heard people say that the armor color itself is too light, that it should be the darker green as well. So the helmet itself is a little bit meh. It could just be, you know, it's got the glare going on in the light here, but honestly, even when you take it out of the light, it's really hard to tell where the black of the eyepiece ends and the red begins, because that's kind of what you're getting. See that? It's just kind of hard to tell what's going on there. It feels sloppy. His face itself, pretty well detailed. I'm not too disappointed with that. The body itself is very detailed. So I'm pretty happy with the body. I'm happy with the head. The pants are okay. They don't have a back print. And the body itself has arm prints, which are really nice. It does have a back print, so that's pretty cool. But overall, the helmet is just a real disappointment. The helmet and the jetpack should be a different color. Now, I do like the Lego jetpacks. They're a pretty cool piece, pretty standard. I have no beef there. So here we got our Boba, and then his gun he's gonna need, so let's build that. And I like the gun that they have for him. I think that it's you know, pretty precise to what his gun should be. I mean, you can't go wrong with the classic Lego Boba Fett, but like the one from the early 2000s particularly. This guy's not doing too bad, though. That's a pretty sweet little piece that he's got there. I'm pretty happy with that. Although I will say there are custom versions of the guns from Star Wars, the blasters, that are just more precise. I like those too. I haven't yet purchased any. So now we're getting on to the building part of this whole thing. This is going to be a pretty speedy one, though. I'm already, you know, a couple pieces in, and I gotta tell you guys, I love building Legos. It's a great way to spend your time. when you got a little bit of free time just to build up some Lego sets. You could say it's a little bit childish, but there are grown people who make a living doing this, and that's kind of my plan. I'd rather make a living doing this and having fun with it. I always wanted to work for Star Wars, actually, but that's a whole process. I haven't yet found something that I can easily get to. I would love to be in an actual Star Wars movie, or say, I don't know, be in a Star Wars movie. I'm a writer, so if I could do writing, I could do photography. I would love to work with Lucasfilm, but I'm not exactly that happy with current Lucasfilm under Disney, and I have my critiques of the direction that they've gone since I was a kid, and I just gotta say there have been a lot of disappointments in the past couple years. I wish, fans like me had an easier way to get involved. I don't know if it's the main career I'd pursue. There's too many political changes that I want to make, and being involved with both is kind of a conflict of interest, I think. But if I could work for Lucasfilm, I would. I got some great ideas. I'm really passionate. I always have been passionate about Star Wars. It's just, I remember being a kid, there were a couple years where I denied it because I thought it was too geeky, and I thought everybody was going to make fun of me, and, I did actually have issues with that throughout my life, and, well, I'm fine now, and lots of people who I knew who are kind of like that are either friends or just not relevant, so... But kids can be cruel, so I remember vividly when I was around 8 years old, pretending that I just pushing myself away from Star Wars a little bit, and since then I've just really accepted that part of myself. I mean, Star Wars is a huge formative part of who I am. The first book I ever read was one of those Star Wars Learn to Read books. Or there was one about a robot, too. Either way, it was space-related and cool, but Star Wars has just always been super, extremely important for me. The movies were some of the first movies that I really found myself caring a lot about. I mean, Revenge of the Sith came out. If that was 2004, I would have been about 5 years old. Came out when I was 5. The first chance I got to watch it on HBO, because obviously I couldn't go to the theater and watch it, it was PG-13. First chance I could get to lock myself away in a room and watch it by myself, I did, and man, oh man, it was one of the freaking coolest experiences of all time. I sat through that whole movie. I sat through Anakin burning up the way that he did. And it was just an experience. It was shocking. It was cinematic. To this day, I will say that Revenge of the Sith is one of the greatest movies of all time. Truly an underrated film. And I know a lot of people shit on the prequels, but I love this stuff, man. I grew up with it. Helped form who I am, my beliefs, my views. I mean, you'll see it. And if you know me, you do see it. I mean, it's obvious. I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't change a thing. And I want to keep it going. I don't know how many Lego sets can I get before it becomes a concern, before I need an intervention of, dude, you just bought up a whole library of Legos. But other people have substantially more, so I'm not too worried about it. But this is the shit that I dig, man. Absolutely just important to me. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And I could say it as many times as I want, and it just makes it more true every single time. I enjoy this stuff. It's a great way to, end the day. I mean, it's like, 2 o'clock in the morning right now, and I'm in my room building this spaceship. Doesn't get much better than this, guys. No, but for real, I am happy with this. You hear me saying it multiple times, and you're like, this guy must be lying to himself. Nah. This is what's the analogy that I would use as a poet. This is some of the building blocks of who I am, you know. This is my periodic table. There's a big element of Star Wars, and this is the way. Man, the Mando's a freaking good series, though. Coming back out in March. And we'll talk more about that when I build the hallway scene. I'd love to get more sets. I actually do have a set with some one of the Tusken Raiders and the Mando and Grogu. And it's a pretty sweet build. I'm liking this build so far. It's just a little tiny baby spaceship, as you can tell. It's got those classic Republic maroon colors there. The gray mixed in. You got a little undertone of the green. Always love this ship. Spaceships are freaking sweet. You can't go wrong with a cool spaceship. It's just not possible. Of course, I've heard a lot of reviews that this is just a kind of rinky-dink, silly little fighter. I've seen it, you know, when we get this built, I can tell you that there's an apt comparison to a dinosaur as well, just because of the size and what we're dealing with here. I don't think I'll do a time-lapse. I mean, I enjoyed talking through this, and in a time-lapse, you're just going to hear me blah in real, like, blah, 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 like, really fast motion. Just me carrying on, but you're not going to be able to understand what I'm saying. So I'm just going to leave this. Good little dive in on my connection with Star Wars. It's not what it used to be when I was a kid, but then again, what really is. When you grow up, you look at the life around you and you realize what life really can be sometimes. You face a few more cruel experiences all of a sudden, and then you're sitting there and you're like, I still love the things I used to love, but I'm just not in the same place I used to be. Man, if I could go back to 2005 if I could flash myself back into that life, just for a little bit. I like who I am now. I like where I'm at now. That part is a little bit of a mixed truth, admittedly. I like who I am now. I can't say that I like where I'm located or what my day-to-day looks like. It's not exactly what I expected it would be when I was younger, but you know, we're still here waking up every day, and some days we get a chance to build some real cool spaceships, my peeps. Hi, man. When I listen to myself on these videos, I just feel the cringe. But I'm better than I was when I was a kid, man. When I watch my old YouTube videos from like 2012, 2013, when I had like Minecraft videos with my friends, I was a bitchy little prick, man. Oh man, I would just go on and on in the most annoying way. I hope that this isn't annoying. If it is, feel free to comment, troll me. The feedback's still appreciated. What's the quote? Any publicity is good publicity. I've seen both ends of that, though, of course. This is turning out to be a cooler build than I expected it to be, I have to admit. I think. Is that... I am second guessing the way that I'm building this right now. Is that? I think I did it. I don't think I did it. Is this? Okay. Nope. I think that's it. I think I got it. Okay, that part was trickier than I anticipated it being. But we're getting there. You know, I still debate scripting these videos just because if I go on tangents, I just frickin' talk. I mean, what else are you supposed to do, right? And I like giving commentary. Truth is, I like running my mouth. I like being full of attitude and talking my piece on my view of the world, you know. I don't keep my opinions to myself. I tend to share them. But of course I am exercising a little bit of self-control here, just for the sake of the goal of this channel. Once again, like I said, we are trying to get somewhere with this. I want to make a living with this. Oh man, this ship's starting to come together. Oh man, here we go. Here we go, ladies and gents. But yeah, I kind of hate that I have to censor myself, but it's probably for the best. In videos in the past, I can't say that I have. My opinions have gotten me in trouble before. My mouth has gotten me in trouble before. Not terrible trouble, but people have not been so pleased with things that I have said in the past. And I just gotta say, it is what it is. I'd rather live life authentically and share the opinions that I have than not. Of course, I'm not gonna directly say what those may or may not be in this video. It's like I said, this channel is not for getting political, and I have to remind myself of that constantly. I could, you know, as I make this video right here building Legos, I could go off on a tangent of different opinions I have and different things that are happening today. But better off for everybody that I keep that to a minimum. And you know, one could say that running your mouth and having opinions will find you more views because shock value. Maybe one day we'll get to that point, but right now this is just me sharing in this stuff that I love. Like, honestly, there's no way I'd rather be spending my time than that. Well, okay, there are a couple ways. There are funner things to do in life than build little Lego spaceships, but you know, there's nothing wrong with building Lego spaceships. Nothing wrong with this little dude. Look at this cool guy right here. Man, I don't, you know, I'm a little bit like specific with how I do my iterations. Like, if I were to play with this as a kid, I'd be a little bit mixed up about just proportion wise. Where is he gonna hide Han Solo in this little ship? The carbonite Han Solo piece is as big as the bottom of this ship. Where is he gonna hide him? I don't know. That's a dilemma, you know. He just shows up to Jabba's palace in this little ship. Who is gonna take my guy seriously? Who is gonna look at Boba Fett and be like, you're doing some real good with this little baby spaceship? Like, I just think, you know, is this little version of the Slave One, Boba Fett's Starship, is this little baby version of this ship the main alternative version in some alternative universe where all the Lego spaceships are tiny little spaceships? I mean, honestly, maybe it's more medium size, but that is a cool looking spaceship. I'm kind of bummed that the guns don't turn. Like, it's meant to be flown like this. That's kind of upsetting. That's kind of a letdown that these are just stationary, because usually you'd be able to move this up and down, around and about. But yeah, I don't know if I've been given too good of a view. So there's a side view, front view, side view, back view. Totally the Slave One here. So overall with the build, like the maneuverability that these little fins have, and that's actually probably the best position to have it. That's where it looks the coolest, with the wings up like that. That should be able to move just like these do. I like this, you know, cap right here. I kind of feel like they should have built up the sides here to where it was covered and where that would be just, you know, fold into itself neatly, because there is that open space right there, and that's just not realistic. He's going to go into space. Well, at least he's got a helmet, but he's going to, if that helmet's not one of those oxygen helmets, Boba's going to suffocate, man. How is he going to get in space? It's nuts. Feel bad for the little dude, you know? So we got a couple little spare pieces here. Gonna toss these into the bags, you know. We're gonna fold up the instructions, put them away. We got one set out of 3 built, and we are at the 24-minute mark. That is not unexpected. So here we've got Boba Fett. I think I can actually cap this video and then do the brick heads separately, just because of how long it ended up being. I kind of want to shoot for about 20 minutes per video. Generally, I think that that's not a bad idea. Attention span wise, like, you know, people don't want to get stuck into videos that are just going on and on and on for hours on end. So yeah, if you put it like this, oh jeez, okay, so yeah, you got the spaceship, you attach his little gun to the bottom. I think that's a neat little thing, and you can fly him around. Honestly, it looks kind of like a sail barge or something. It looks more like it could be out of Lilo and Stitch, quite frankly. They have some cool ships. This little mini, it looks like that, man. I don't know why. I've seen, you know, of course it looks a little like the Slave One, but it looks more like a skiff kind of thing, honestly. But I'm not unhappy with this build. If I was to rate this on a scale, I would honestly probably give it... This is a 6 out of 10. I mean, like I said, with those back turrets, they should be able to move. With these little... I've heard it compared to a T-Rex because of these little wings. They could have been bigger. They could have built that part up. So just little build nitpicks, honestly. Otherwise, it's a solid piece. Most people probably, unless if you're a diehard collector who wants to put it on... Like, this is a great desk piece. I could put this right on my desk. I got space for it. I can't put a whole Slave One on my desk. But I can put this on my desk. And I will say, honestly, great little gift for a sibling or a cousin or something. Like, this is a perfect little dude. So, Slave One, everybody. 6 out of 10. If I was feeling generous, maybe a 7 out of 10. The color scheme is not bad. I can have some fun with this ship. So, yep, that's one down. Now we got a bunch more sets to go. So, stay tuned for my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay throttled, my Stoddles. I don't know if that should be my catchphrase, but I do need one. Cringe if you like. Please comment cringe if you cringed. And we're going to do the next video, and I hope the quality here was good. Alright, peace everybody. Peace and love. Woo! That was a voice crack of a woo. Anyway.